I have a problem I'm looking to solve. This house, while nice, is much too small for my extravagant tastes. I mean, it's cozy and warm. Sometimes the roof leaks, but that's par for the course. I mean, it was nice while it lasted, but I have a plan. I've laundered funds into a new project, conveniently located next door. You may or may not notice it from here. It's kind of hard to see. Today I've got a very specific mission. I don't like this roof, because I can't go in there. So I'm going to delete it, and I want to see how easily we can create an attic space, specifically with these dormer windows looking out. And I know the hollow mansard roofs exist, but they won't allow for the openings to accommodate for the windows, nor any real customization. That's where this house comes in. And sure, I could leave the roof up there without any way to access it, but then we lose all that square footage. So we're going to be using this house that I threw together for this video, and it's true, I quite literally mean thrown together. The back and the sides leave more to be desired, to put it lightly. And this is intentional. I don't need the entire roof to determine whether or not it's possible. It isn't at all the fact that finishing off the rest of the house would be incredibly expensive. No. It's a feature, not a bug. So my idea is pretty simple. We create the slope. We're using standard lengths and heights here to prevent any issues. Or at least I was, until, yeah. Then we place that template on both sides and fill it in. Pretty simple. We also have another goal here, and that's to make this as cheap as possible. Because, well, I'm cheap as possible. Something that the terrain video didn't really highlight was the massive expense that the method took, which is on top of the tedium of perfectly placing triangles and all this other stuff. But I suppose the goal there wasn't to make something easily replicable, it was just to see if it was even possible. So here we're going to try to balance cost and ease of use. My first and really only idea was to create a section in the size of a 1x1, that way we can just create a template block and place that anywhere and everywhere. We're going to have to give special attention to corners, but I prepared for this. Not only did I provide a buffer on the bottom, in case anything was a bit too long, it wouldn't show through. But we've also got this block here on the ends to hide the fact that we don't get them all perfectly placed. See, that's the best strat of them all. Decorate your house with the details that hide all the mistakes that you made. And it's modeled after real-life roofs, so we have the framing for the inner walls done as well. Though, depending on the pitch of the roof, you may have to adjust this. I also discovered you can delete the inner framing after you've placed the planks, which helps cut down on the cost immensely. But that brings me to the one downside. Aside from each section costing $1,400, the fact is that in most applications, roofs aren't going to be something practically accessible, most because our characters are gigantic. And my guy especially, he's a giant, he's built like a cube. So this is really only applicable or useful to homes that have a reasonably accessible attic space, which could very well be planned for ahead of time. I specifically chose this house for this video as it fit that bill. It's the Iowa Governor's Mansion, for those inclined. The hardest part to figure out are the corners, but we'll manage. On the plus side, you can already see how the interior will shape up. But you may be asking, did we accomplish our goal? Sure. I mean, there was no way for this to go wrong unless we tried to make it go wrong. The only real problem here is that if you use a light switch, there's technically no walls, so it will illuminate the entire plot on this floor. Some may call that a bug, but I call it a feature. You also now have the problem of you can't use walls anymore. So, good luck. Ultimately, it's such a pivotal feature that this game has been lacking. Again, yes, we have the hollow roof, and you can use that as a much easier alternative. But I find the value of being able to add windows a huge benefit. An attic window is a common feature in most homes, and this being the way you accomplish it feels like a missed opportunity that the game is yet to capitalize on. Unless I'm just missing something here. Allowing players to make something like this, or even entire attic spaces easily and affordably, would be a game changer. And I'm sure it's coming in the future, though I'm more so waiting for the terrain overhaul. One thing I didn't think about beforehand was whether the rain would show, since we're technically not in a room. And no, it doesn't. Which I'm thankful for. That would have just left us right where we started. Oh, also, while making this video, I was Googling around and discovered there's a whole website where a guy just nitpicks houses, and I love it. It's great. He yells without capitalization or punctuation. It's like the most passive way possible. But here's some of my favorites. Apparently, bedtime is a spectator sport. At what point does a great room become a sunroom? plus 100,000 McMansion points for stupid prairie windows. Bouquet of sad. Hello, Home Depot. I need 2 of your worst matching pink and purple paint colors, please. Is this Cheryl? Some serious nihilism happened here. Like, you cannot do something like this unless you truly believe life has no meaning. Also, I love this picture with the pillars. It doesn't need any words to show how mad he is, which that's like the funniest one to me. Alright, I think that's enough for one day. I gotta go now, Alex, and get back to collecting rainwater inside my house.